Don't skip there's a moment in every conversation where things shift, where a woman moves from being curious to invested, from enjoying your presence to needing it, and most men miss this moment entirely, not because it's invisible, but because if they've never been taught how to recognize it. You see, women don't always express their emotions in ways men are wired to understand, while men tend to communicate with direct language. Clear one straightforward needs, women often speaking layers, especially when their emotions are involved. She might not say "I'm feeling for you" outright. She might never utter the words "I feel safe with you" or "you matter to me." But trust him, she's saying it, just in a different lane, a quieter one, a subtler one. One thought you have to be grounded enough to hear. And if you know what to look for, her words, her tone, her timing, those all lesson one reveal what she's truly feeling today. I'm going to break down the hidden cues, the phrases, and the emotional signals that a woman gives off when she's emotionally invested in you. These aren't surface level indicators. They are not just about attention, compliments, or texting frequency. These are the deep signs that she sees you as more than affling, more than a distraction, more than just someone to pass the time with. But before we begin, I want you to remember something. Just because she says something emotional doesn't mean and just because she doesn't say anything emotional doesn't mean she's not. What we're looking at today is context, consistency, and emotional depth. That's where the truth lives. Let's start with the first hidden phrase that reveals emotional investment. Never told anyone this before. Know this one. This is powerful. When a woman opens up and says something like, "I've never told anyone this before," or "I don't usually talk about this with people," she's not just sharing a story, she's sharing access to a part offer that most people never get to see. Her past, her insecurities, her private thoughts, the things she's learned to protect. See, emotional investment doesn't bacon when she compliments your looks or lows at your jokes. That's surface level. That's easy. Emotional investment bacons the moment she feels safe in auto. Be emotionally vulnerable when she lets you into her inner world. She's telling you, "I trust you." She's saying, "I feel emotionally safe in your presence." And in today's world where everyone's guarded, that safety is everything. This is where most men make a crucial mistake. Either rush in too fast trying to fix her problem, or her listen to feelings, or they shut down overwhelmed with the weight of what she just shared. But a stoic, emotionally grounded man listens not to respond, but to understand, hold space without judgment. He doesn't need to fix anything. He does her flow with shallow reassurance. He just stays present. Confused, that's what makes her open up more. That's what makes her start to attach. So the next time a woman says something deeply personal, especially if it starts with "I've never told anyone before," pay attention. That's not just small talk. That's not just aversoring. That's a green light. That's sure saying you're not like the rest. That's her saying, "I want you to see their Almy." And once a woman gives you access to her roots, her emotional world, her wounds, you listen. 3 are no longer just a man in her life. You become part of her story, but you must earn that trust by how you respond, with calm, with presence, with zero neediness or performance. You don't need to match her vulnerability right away. You just need to meet it with respect, because at the end of the day, what every woman is truly seeking beneath the filters and the curated messages is a man who can make her feel seen without making her feel exposed. And if you're a thought man, she won't just invest, she'll stay. What do you think I should do? This simple question might sound casual on the surface, but when a woman starts consistently asking for your opinion on personal matters, especially when it involves her emotions, relationships, family issues, or life choices, it's a big deal. Because here's the truth. Women didn't open that door for just any one. She says, "What do you think I should do?" She's signaling more than curiosity, showing trust in your judgment. She respects your thinking. She values your emotional clarity. She sees you as someone grounded enough to influence her personal decisions. Think about how we operate when we're uncertain or vulnerable. We don't go asking for advice from random people. We go to someone. We feel safe with someone. We feel safe with someone who brings calm instead of chaos, someone who listens without pushing an agenda. That's exactly what she sees in Yono. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean you need to start giving her step-by-step instructions or playing therapist. That's where a lot of guys mess this up. They're rushing to fix it mode, trying to be the hero or come up with the perfect answer. What she's really looking for is your presence of mind. She's not testing your intelligence, she's testing your emotional leadership. A woman asking for your opinion is often seeking alignment. The wants to feel that you can hold space for her dilemma. Walk with her through the tension and help her return to her own clarity. So when she asks, "What do you think I should do?" slow down, ask her questions, stay neutral. Say neutral, say something like, "Well, what do you really want to do?" Or "It sounds like you know what's holding you back." This makes her feel emotionally seen and not emotionally managed. Remember, emotional investment is about depth, not direction. And if she feels like she can turn to you, not for control, but for clarity, you instantly become Sumianary in her life, not just a guy she likes, but a man she can lean on. 3. Thought about you. When there's a point in every woman's emotional journey where her thoughts start, including you even when you're not around, and it often shows up in one quiet phrase, I thought about you, when it could be as light as I saw this book and thought you'd like it, or as meaningful as this song remind him of you. Either way, the underlying mess is clear. You live in her emotional memory now. She's not just with you, she's a Oceanju. With moments in her day, she's linking you to her environment, her mood, her thoughts. This is deep psychologicality. See, women are wired for emotional pattern recognition. When a woman starts connecting external you, it's a sign that you've left a lesson for psychological imprint. That's when emotional investment begins to take root. It means you're not just a passing thought. You're becoming part of her emotional world. This isn't just attraction. This is a mistake many men make at this. Stay guys brushing these moments off or not reciprocating in subtle ways. They missed the opportunity to mirror that emotional thread. When she shares this reminded me of a few moments. She's extending a piece of her internal world to you. She's saying you matter even when you're not around. Wise response isn't to joke it away. Just say nice. It's to reflect her investment. You can say something like, that's cool, you thought of me. What made it stand out? Or even share your own you. No, I saw something the other day that reminded me of that thing you said. This exchange reinforces the emotional bond. It shows her you're tuned in. Thatch is not investing alone, and that's what makes her feel emotionally safe and seen. 2 of the deepest needs a woman has when falling for someone. So next time she says, I thought about you, don't just hear the words heart, meaning you're becoming her emotional home for her. I'm not usually like this around people. When a woman says, I'm not usually like this around people, which is revealing without fully realizing is that you've broken through her emotional guard. This phrase is rarely about behavior. It's not really about being goofy, open, talkative, shy, or flirty. It's about emotion. Disarmament. Most people walk through life wearing psychological armor. Women, especially bees. They're constantly navigating expectations, judgments, and emotional projections from others. So when Chef finds herself laughing more easily, opening up about her past, being more vulnerable, or just behaving differently than she normally would, it's surprising her, and the moment she points the tout to you, she's acknowledging an emotional shift. Here's what makes this so important. She's not just saying she's safe, she's also saying you bring something out of her that few others don't, that my friend is the cornerstone of emotional intimacy. Didn't ask her to drop her guard, you didn't push, you didn't manipulate, you simply created the conditions where her truest self could emerge. Think of it like this. If she feels like she has tower a mask with most people but shadow scent needed around you, that's a rare and powerful bond. And people become emotionally invested in those who help them reconnect with woe. They really are. This is why stoic presence matters so much. When you're calm, grounded, and non-reactive, you're not emotionally demanding, you're not rushing her or seeking validation. Your rage is being still. That stillness gives her space to relax her own truth. And when a woman feels seen without having to perform, she begins to trust deeply. So if she ever says, I'm not usually like this, pay close attention. She's not apologizing. She's not confused. She's revealing, and she's inviting you into a more authentic emotional space, one where her walls air down and her investment is growing. 5. I feel like I can tell you anything. This is one of the most emotionated sentences a woman can offer you. I feel like I can tell you anything. To a lot of guys, this might sound like she's friend-zoning you, but that's far from the truth. When a woman genuinely says this, and it's coming from a space of warmth, comfort, and trust, what she's releasing is, I feel emotionally safe with you. And emotional safety is not a consolation prize. It's the foundation of long-term attraction. Here's the deal. Any man can spark interest. A few can create a mystery, but very few can make a woman feel emotionally grounded. When she feels like she can share the messy, vulnerable, unfiltered parts of herself without fear of being judged or misunderstood, you've earned something most men never reach. Her inner world. It's not about being her therapist. It's not about solving her problems. It's about being present with her truth. And when she feels that kind of connection, her emotions start investing automatically. Stoicism. We talk a lot about self-mastery, and one of the great powers of self-mastery is being a for someone else's storm without losing yourself in it. That's what women crave more than a flash, festal, or physical proficiency. Wants to be around a man who doesn't flinch when she reveals her reality. A man who listens, who stays rooted, who doesn't try to fix her or silence her emotions, but lets her speak freely. Echoes. He knows who he is when she says, I feel like I can tell you anything. Respond with presence. Don't downplay it and get awkward. Just meet her in that space, ask follow-up questions, listen with your whole attention. Hold eye contact, nod gently. These simple behaviors reinforce her sense of safety because the more she opens up and sees that your energy doesn't shift, the deeper her emotional investment grows. And remember this, women don't become robust with men who always impress them. They become obsessed with men who can't hear their truth. 6. You make me feel calm. This one flies under the radar for Mossman because it doesn't sound flashy. It doesn't sound passionate or romantic. Boutique is one of the most powerful complaints a woman can give you. You'll make me feel calm. Why? Because we live in a world that constantly overwhelms women emotionally, mentally, and socially. When a woman says you make her feel calm, what she's really saying is that your energy has an anchoring effect. She feels emotionally regulated around you. Her nervous system starts to slow down. She easier, she doesn't feel the need to be on, and this is a direct reflection of your inner stillness, your emotional clarity, your stoic presence. Let me be blunt. Most guys are emotionally chaotic. They overreact, they overexplain, they try too hard, they seek. Their energy is needy or unpredictable. Even if a woman finds them attractive at first, that emotional instability slowly becomes exhausting. But when you walk in grounded, still and composed, not arrogant, not detached, but present, you become rare. And when she says you make me feel calm, she's not just complimenting you, she's bonding with you. That calm is what makes her want to spend more time with you. It's what makes her body soften around you. It's what turns basic attraction into deep emotional pull. So how do you cultivate this? First, stop trying to impress. Focus on awareness instead of performance. Slow your speech, breath more deeply. Listen with curiosity instead of judgment. Speak less but mean more. When you do this, your energy starts to feel like a sanctuary, and when a woman feels emotionally safe in your presence, she doesn't just like being around you, she starts needing thoughts, the seed of obsession. So if she says you make me feel calm, no thought the heart has already started investing. The strongest emotional puissant excitement, it's peace. Mark 7. She wants to understand your emotion zone. Of the strongest indicators that a woman is emotionally invested in you is 1. She takes a genuine interest in understanding your emotions. Not just the surface level feelings, but the deeper layers that you might not even share with others. This isn't about her being nosy or intrusive. It's about her wanting to connect with your inner world, your thoughts, your struggles, and your joy. She wants to see what makes you tick. Emotional itches is a very intimate kind of investment, and it requires vulnerability both sides. When a woman truly cares about you, she won't be satisfied with you saying, I'm fine, or it's nothing. She noticed the slight change in your tone, the silence that lingers too long. Look in your eyes when something's bothering you, and she'll ask about it, not because she wants to pry, but because your emotional well-being matters. To her, she wants to support you, not fix you. She wants to be your safe space. At this level of emotional curiosity goes that she's in it for more than just the fun or attraction. It means she's trying to understand how to love you better, how to comfort you, and how to help someone who genuinely enhances your life. But here's where stoic wisdom comes in. If you're the type of man who is emotionally guarded, who sees expressing feelings as weakness, you might misread this as pressure, or even control. But that mindset will push her away. A stoic man understands that strength is not the absence of emotion, it's the mastery of it. When she creates space for your emotions and wants to understand you on that level, it's not weakness to open up, it's strength. And if you recognize her effort and meet it with honesty, it builds a bond that's not just romantic, but deeply human. If you're wondering whether a woman is emotionally invested, ask yourself this. She'll care when I'm not at my best dues. She'll make an effort to understand what I'm feeling without judgment. If the answer is yes, you're not dealing with casual interests. That's emotion alchemy in action. Number 8. She wants to integrate you into her life. A powerful sign that a woman is invested is when she begins integrating you into the bigger picture of her life. She's no longer just spending time with you on dates or texting you during her downtime. No, she's inviting you into her world and introducing you to her friends, her family, including you and her future plans, asking for your opinion on decisions, and slowly building a shared rhythm with you. And a woman starts doing this, it's not just a routine or a social gesture. It's a deep emotional move. She's saying without words, you matter to me and I want you to be part of my future. This could be as simple as wanting you to join her at a family dinner, or as serious as discussing career changes or where she wants to live in the future. These invitations might seem subtle at first, but they carry serious emotional weight. From a stoic perspective, it's important to observe how you handle these moments. Are you comfortable being part of her world? Or do you pull away? Are you engaging with her inner circle? Or do you keep the relationship siloed into your own? Terms emotional investment. It isn't just about what she's doing, it's about how you're been to it. Women don't introduce Justanian to their families or best friends. That's a vulnerable move. It means she's opening herself up to judgment, not just from you, but from the people who materdo her. It means she's emotionally committed enough to risk social exposure because she believes in the connection. If you notice that she talks about theffature and uses language like we instead of that's a subtle but meaningful shift. It's no longer just about urgles or dreams. It's about building a shared life. She might start asking questions like, would you ever want to travel here? Or do you like the idea of living in this city? These aren't title questions. They're emotional bridge. Key here is not to rush or get overwhelmed. Stoic wisdom reminds us that calm observation and honest participation are the foundation of any serious relationship. She's bringing you into her life and you feel grounded and aligned with I thoughts. A green flag of deep emotional investment. 9. She becomes emotionally affected by you. Perhaps the most telling sign that a woman is emotionally invested is how much your emotional invested affects hers. When she's conectado you deeply, your moods, actions, and words carry serious weight. If you're distant, she feels it in her bones. If you're cold, she worries. If you're joyful, it lifts her spirit. She's emotionally in tune with you, not out of dependence, but because you genuinely matter to her. This responsiveness can manifest in different ways. She might become more anxious if you've been quiet for a while, and not because she's clingy, but because your silence means something to her. Or maybe she celebrates your wins with agnoon sense of pride, as if your success is also hers. That kind of emotional empathy is not casual, it's deep investment over. This is also where emotional maturity is critical. A stoic man doesn't exploit this vulnerability, respects it. When a woman is emotionally affected by you, she's offering you her emotional trust. She's saying you matter enough that your actions influence how I feel. This is not something to take lightly. At the same time, her being emotionally reactive to you doesn't mean she's severely sensitive or weak. It means she's connected, and in today's world where emotional detachment is common, that connection is a rare and valuable thing. You'll notice that when she's deeply invested, she'll check in on you more often. She'll seek reassurance not because she's needy, but because she wants to feel close to you. She might say things like, I've been thinking about you, or it hurts when women don't talk. These are not guilt trips, they're emotional signals. If you're the kind of man who values loyalty, depth, and long-term connection, this emotional responsiveness is a powerful thing to honor. Be the kind of man who holds space for her, who communicates with calm clarity and movers steadiness even when emotions run high. That's what makes her feel secure, and when a woman feels emotionally safer, love deepens in ways that words can't fully capture. When she's affected by you, you've moved beyond casual territory. You've entered kind of emotional bond that few people ever experience. And if you treat thought with care and respect, it becomes a foundation of a lasting relationship built on trust, empathy, and unshakable connection. So if you've recognized even a few of these signs in a woman you're seeing, know that you're not just someone enjoys spending time with. Your Simian. She's emotionally committed, toned. That kind of connection is rare in today's world. But here's the deeper truth. How you respond to her emotional investment matters just as much as the sins themselves. Stoic man doesn't just enjoy affection, he honors it, he recognizes